Today is the day for Bitcoin. We finally have a strong New York Open very close by. Yesterday, of course, was a US holiday, and yesterday was a very low volume day. A load of nothing, really. So we have been so patient since Friday night, all of Saturday, all of Sunday, all of Monday, and here we are on Tuesday, where we finally have the proper day of trading ahead. It is going to be massive. Strap in, because the volume is here. This is what we have been ready and waiting for. So you do not want to miss out on today's price action. Truly think we're going to be in for some lovely fireworks indeed. So with that said, let's jump straight over to the chart. I actually want to keep this one. Target is going to be under 10 minutes. So I just want to get in here and give as much information and alpha as possible and get out ready to trade the New York Open. So it's going to be a good one. Bitcoin. So first of all, I need to recap what I was saying there. Of course, yesterday was, as I was saying, this was my post yesterday in the Discord, very low volume, 20 minutes into New York Open. It was a very slow day yesterday. We had, a holiday in the US and Canada. So it made total sense. This morning, 5 a.m., I'm telling everyone, get ready because the volume is here, baby. The volume is coming back. Here we are on a normal day, finally, of trading. There's no holidays. It's just pure volume ready for a massive trading session. As we entered London, we started to get a move to the downside. And what we saw on the order flow was key. What I saw on the order flow, I've already done a live stream for the members, and we were seeing these massive longs open. So look at this. As we hit into $113,000, we saw 17 million longs open, forming bearish divergences. And this was the heads up, my friends, this is bearish. We finally have volume coming into the market, and it is an overly large amount of longs at no good support level. This is bearish. It is forming literally bearish divergences on the CVD, which is a key indicator that we use at Chart Champions. Well, it got even worse. As we hit into the range point of control, which was also a daily naked point of control, we saw massive longs opening. Look at this, 16 million longs, 24 million longs. They were longs opening, but again, giving massive bearish divergences. And again, since then, we have moved down another nearly $2,000. So each time we've seen these massive bearish divergences form, price went down $2,000. They formed again, we're down another $2,000. And it is very easy. Well, again, it's very easy for me to say this, to be honest, but I done it in my live stream this morning. I was very adamant. We were going here sideways around 111.5. And I was like, this is not a long that I'm interested in taking. Why? The bearish divergences in the order flow, the way the futures are actually lining up to fill their gap, and we're not into New York session. This for me was a strong no long. Wait for lower. Had high confidence in lower, and of course that is correct as lower was coming. Then we hit into our next level to the downside was the daily there, 110.7. We hit into the daily, which was a level that I had planned for a potential trade. And again, I've told my team I am not taking this long. It doesn't meet the criteria of what I want, of course, into New York session, but also the amount of longs that we're seeing here. I think lower is coming. Oh, and here we are down another $700 since that call of no long. So this is what I want you to understand. This is the way that you trade. Like, this is the way that we trade at Chart Champions, and it is really just simply the best way of trading. You have levels of interest. Again, somebody said to me this morning, Daniel, is the market going up or down? My reply was, it doesn't matter whether the market goes up or down. When the market drops, I know where I want to long. When the market rises, I know where I want to short. But I have no care whether the market pumps or whether the market dumps. All I care about is where is the good trade setup that I can make money on that move. Okay, and that is the real alpha that you need to understand. We do not care whether price goes up or down. Why? Because we can make money either way. If the market goes up, we can make money. If the market dumps, we can make money. That is the style of trader that you want to be. So we make our plans, we understand our levels of interest, we read the order flow, and then we make these decisions once we hit those levels to take the trade or wait for continuation. And so I think that we have lining up today a very massive New York Open. Of course, the futures that we saw on the Sunday night, in the end, they got a actual, pretty bullish, futures opened bullish. So we got the strong gap to the upside and continuation during Sunday night, Monday, putting in the high as we as we opened Tuesday. You see here, Tuesday was the absolute higher to move for futures. And what is this? Well, we went through Sunday, which is of course low volume. Then we went through Monday, which is holiday. This was a holiday in US and Canada. And as soon as we reached Tuesday, which is our full normal day of trading, the high was put in. Okay. And again, I will always say this, the futures out of hours trading, it's not overly important. What's important is the New York session. And we are just about to enter New York session. And what is it showing to us? It's showing us weakness. Look at this. I think it's very likely that we can come and fill these gaps. Okay, so I am looking for the gap to be formed that we formed from Friday to Sunday. So yeah, I think that we will fill the gap on the futures, and this also will just be a little bit of a golden nugget that this is why you cannot get too excited on out of hours moves on futures, because at the end of the day you just call it like low volume games. It's not really that interesting. It can be potential heads up, and it's not something I would totally ignore, but you also have to understand out of hours futures trading is it's very, very, very low volume in comparison to your New York session, and that's why I place such importance on the New York session, because it is where the volume is, right? So well, of course, actually you see volume spikes now. The time I was updating, this is not random. I'm always waking up now at 5 a.m. to do updates. It's a 5 a.m. update because very, very, very common now. You can look at the statistics yourself. You're seeing major moves happen around the 5 a.m. UK time. And there is a lot of high volume spikes around this time, and lots of moves actually start happening, which was before considered Asia session. This would be considered Asia session. In my opinion, what's happening is all of your big traders, guess what? No one's still in the UK. You don't see big traders in the UK anymore. Why? Because the UK is on a massive downwards hill. Where are they all going? To the Middle East. And so of course, they are +3, +4 hours. And so what used to be 5 a.m. Asian session is now all of your big European, all your big UK traders moving +4 hours ahead, +3 hours ahead. Okay, on that little region, well, that's no longer Asian session, right? It's almost the new London session. And these are little key bits of information that I do not miss. I am all day, every day on these charts, because I know that these little bits of alpha that most people will not even pay attention to are a little bit of an edge that you need to be a good trader. And so anyway, yeah, that's something that I've just shared with you now. You can regularly look and see those nice moves happening around the 4 or 5 a.m. UK time. But anyway, as I've been saying, I've not entered the long. I did not enter the long at the point of control, which is our range point of control, which was also a daily naked point of control, because of the order flow. And I want to show you the order flow again right now. We are now seeing oh my God, we just saw another 16 million new longs opened again. This is crazy. You've just seen in the space of a few hours 16 million longs here, then another 24 million longs, now another 16 million longs. You are seeing a crazy massive amount. Look at this, 17 million longs. Like, we are seeing a massive uptick in an extreme amount of longs opening, and once again forming just crazy big bearish divergences. This is not something that I would be saying I want to long now, because I know what they're doing. These people are going to be taking their longs here. Stop loss where? Below these lows. Of course, you're looking at a risk of less than 1%, probably looking to trade this little bit of a range. But what I would be saying to myself is I will be looking for this to what? Take out their stop losses, take those lows and goes lower. I'm not a fan. Again, this is... I stress it to you, my friends. I stress this. This is all about statistics. I've seen this data hundreds and thousands of times. Of course, could this be the one time where the longs win and this plays out? Yes, it could be. It is a statistical based advantage. But I know I have a high statistical advantage of knowing that it is very likely that those longs will get stopped out. Thus, I know based off of my statistics, I am not longing yet because the order flow is too bearish. We've not reached New York session. And on top of that, to be honest with you, yeah, the futures pre-market are looking bearish to fill that gap. So all of these signs together is where you start to get your edge, is where you start to get your high probability outcomes. And I know that the high probability outcome is that these longs will fail. Of course, I say again, could they win? Yes, there is that possibility. If price pumps from here without taking out the lows, I miss the long. Guess what? The good thing here is I do not lose any money on this. because I will not take a short here, of course. So I do not lose any money, but I avoid taking a bad, what in my opinion is a bad trade. And again, I am against the herd here because the herd is going super long right now. 17 million longs, 24 million longs, 16 million longs, 16 million longs. The herd right now is going absolutely crazy bullish. They've got their stop losses right here around $109.5 thousand, and I am expecting them to get stopped out. From there, we need to see if we get another avalanche, bringing us down towards $107,000, or whether we can get a little bit of a fake out of the range low for reversal. That is, again, we need to look at the order flow and make an informed decision of whether we're getting this range low during New York. Otherwise, yeah, we'll be heading towards the CC here at 107K. And of course, then otherwise, if that doesn't hold, we can come down and fill that big wick, right? So yeah, this was a quick update that I wanted to tell you. So quick summary for you all here. Number one, yesterday, yes, it was very, very low volume. Sunday night was low volume. Monday was very, very low volume, but it was a holiday. We had, and we knew that today would be the day. Tuesday, we've got the volume back. That definitely fair to say, look at it, the volume is back, but this is giving us very bearish divergences, too many longs open, crowded trade. I know where their stop losses will be, and I'm expecting all of these traders to get stopped out. Why is this important? Because it links very, very, very closely to how I knew that this high that was put in here off of a failed auction of the highs at $125,800. That formed a failed auction, but what happened? There was massive amount of shorts in that high. My call was we will make another new high, hit $126,000, and only then get the drop. Stop out all those shorts first. And as you all know, that was a brilliant call because it's exactly what happened. We stopped out all of these shorts, we hit into our target, and then we got the drop. And so for me, it's the same again here. I see all these longs. Order flow is my best friend. I know how to read it. I know how to get an edge. I know my statistics. I really, really, really believe confidently here we will go lower, below 109.5, and those longs are going to be stopped out. And again, there are a massive amount of longs opening here. Yeah, I'm confident. I know what I'm doing. If you want to have this confidence, if you want to be in the trading group, knowing when I am looking for my longs, and also very key here, not to take the longs, because if you took that long, you're probably going to lose. Same as if you took the long on the point of control, you're definitely going to lose. Like, I've also really helped the team already avoid taking some very bad long trades. So if you want that kind of assistance during the day, if you want to know how to do it yourself, if you want to know how to read order flow, if you want the whole educational library from start to finish, live trading streams, daily streams, AMA streams. Of course, we are not financial advice. We're not a signals group. We are the education. We are helping you each step of the way. If that's of interest to you, chartchampions.com. It truly is your one-stop shop for all of your trading needs. Once you've gone here, you do not need to be looking left, right, and center. Everything that you need is just in one easy to understand place. Chartchampions.com. Hope you've enjoyed this one. We'll see whether I'm right. If I am wrong, hey, I was wrong. But let's wait and see, right? I've said it once, I'll say it again. It's really not often I'm wrong on these types of calls. Order flow is the edge, and I know how to read it. Cheers, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you ever so much. And yeah, if you want more, you know where to get me over at Chart Champions. Cheers. Thank you, and goodbye.